Next part of Lord Shani for Dummies, we're going to be talking about where he's placed, he usually behaves, and his aspect codes. And since he's an outer planet, he has a special aspect code instead of just the 7th opposing position. Wherever Saturn is placed in your horoscope is a sign of where you neglected last life, and now Saturn is making you be very afraid to even go anywhere near it. And he's making you be crippled where he's placed. It takes a while for that house to develop properly, or the significance of that house to be up to par, the best way to put it. The best way to look at it is you have Saturn, and remember what Saturn is in that previous video of the significations that I put out. Saturn is an old man. He's slow, cruel, not cruel like he likes coming up and just whacking you nonstop, but cruel as in he just says, "Here's the truth, take it. No, I don't care about how you feel, take it now." Telling you how it is, and if you start crying, he doesn't care. How I like to look at it is like this: oh my gosh, I'm struggling with this, I need help. Even though most of the time in the modern world today, usually we're too quick to notice that somebody who is struggling, handicapped, or not doing so well, not the most appealing to look at. We're too busy in our own world, and we look at someone who's struggling like, I don't want to get anywhere near that, or like, oh, I don't want to waste my time with that, it's going to take forever, or like, ugh. When you go towards Saturn and you fixate on helping that house where he's at and giving him a hand and supporting him, it may be very unpleasant and very uncomfortable. When Saturn return happens, when he comes all the way around, your Saturn is going to get activated. It's going to be transited over by Saturn, and pretty much all the efforts that you put in up until Saturn return, all of that will get dropped on you, be it good or bad. It all depends on the choices you make. So if you go over and you attend to that house where he's sitting, and if you support it the best of your ability, he's going to remember it. It may take a while for you to get the rewards of it, but he assures that you're going to get it. And in that area, things grow very slow. Things progress very slow. You may have an anxiety or fear about that. You may be so restrictive and strict with yourself regarding whatever that house is. You may be very rebellious, because despite, Saturn having a demeanor of being a very strict, focused graha, he's also the one that's not afraid to go to the king and say, "No! Not doing it! Get away from me, flamer!" He's very rebellious. He's the one that stands with the people and defies the king and pushes the king back. That's why he loves just taking somebody's ego and going, "Out it goes!" and not care once it goes. Regarding his aspect codes, he has a total of 3 special aspect codes. Where he's sitting, he aspects the 3rd place from himself, and by 3rd place, you're counting also where he's sitting. So 1, 2, 3, the 3rd house, 180 degrees across the 7th house, which every planet has, and then the 10th house, the 10th place from where he's set. The first aspect code, he goes like this. See that? If you don't do anything, gone! Whoops! Don't put any effort where he's looking at over there, and he's going to make you put in double the effort to gain the rewards of that house. Depending on Saturn's dignity, the effort can be like it's second nature to you. It can be consistent and you're able to withstand the effort, or it's going to be a real struggle for you depending on his dignity. But primarily the 3rd aspect is all about your efforts, your communication, and your sense of putting out and continuously pushing and pushing and pushing towards something. Because if you don't try, he's not going to reward you that house if you put absolutely no effort in it. And any grahas in there getting hit by this, their significance in themselves will be also affected. 7th aspect code, the aspect which is 180 degrees, he goes like this. See that? That's where you're going to be devoted to it. You're going to stick to it. Nope, no divorce. Don't do it. Looking as the opposing, that is the house and its significance that you're going to be the most devoted to. The one that you're going to be providing the most service to, and you're going to be the most attentive to. Saturn is what? The servant. When you have your servant standing in front of you, looking right at you at the ready, waiting for your order or tasks to be done, he's ready. He's listening. He just needs to be told what to do. And when he's told what to do, he goes, does what he has to do, and comes back and waits for the next task. And that's a servant's really devoted, willing to do anything and everything for their master's gain, no matter what they have to do. And also, say if you have Saturn in the Ascendant, you're probably going to be very devoted to your contracts and pretty much your commitments and devotions, especially towards your life partner and spouse figure. But more certainly, your word and by swearing that you'll do something or your promises is like trusted, very valuable, and it's flawless. But again, you got to remember, it could be a devotion to something that's not so good depending on his dignity. Remember, everything you have to look at the chart as a whole, but there is some form of strict focus and devotion towards the 7th aspect code. The 10th aspect is this. See that? That's where most of your karma is going to be paid. Well, get to it. The 10th aspect is where the most of your karmic service or your karmic debt to society is going to be performed. Your service will be also something that needs to have consistency. You need to make sure that you're performing what you need to perform and be as point as possible and stay devoted with immense servitude, if that makes sense. Pretty much that's his aspect codes, and I guess we'll start next. I'm starting through all the houses, and then we'll go to the signs, and after that we'll have the conjunctions and the lovely hot mess of having a Graha conga line.